Have you ever found yourself justifying something harmful you did to someone else? Maybe you've hurt someone or made a decision that wasn't quite right, but somehow you felt okay with it. What's happening inside our minds when we do this? Today, we're diving into the psychology behind doing harm to others, how we justify it, and what happens if we choose to abstain from those decisions. To start, let's talk about cognitive dissonance, the state of having inconsistent thoughts, beliefs, or attitudes, especially as relating to behavioral decisions and attitude change. Put simply, dissonance occurs when we hold two conflicting beliefs or attitudes, creating an uncomfortable mental state. In the context of harm, this dissonance arises when we hurt someone, but we want to see ourselves as good, moral people. How do we deal with this uncomfortable feeling? Well, we often justify our actions, but there's more to it than that, because we have a choice. We can either change our behavior, which is the rational solution, or we can justify our actions, which is the irrational one. The problem is, when we feel our decisions are irreversible, we often stand behind them, refusing to acknowledge the harm done, and instead reinforcing our behavior to reduce dissonance. Let's break this down with a specific example. Imagine a powerful executive in a corporation who, in a decision meeting, approves the use of cheap labor from a factory in a developing country. The factory has known issues with worker safety, but the executive tells themselves, "This is the most cost-effective solution," or "It's not my fault that workers choose to work there." This is self-justification in action, making excuses to minimize the guilt and discomfort of the situation. But it doesn't stop there. The executive might also focus on the positive outcomes of the decision, like the increased profit margins, or the ability to provide lower-priced goods to the public. These positive outcomes are then used to make the harmful action feel more acceptable despite the obvious exploitation and danger to workers. Another way we justify harm is through moral disengagement. Moral disengagement refers to the process where an individual or group of people distances themselves from the normal or usual ethical standards of behavior and then become convinced that new unethical behaviors are justified, often due to some perceived extenuating circumstances. People will suggest their decisions aren't that bad or everyone does it. This is a slippery slope. Once you've justified a harmful act once, it becomes easier to do it again. This can gradually lead us down a dangerous path where we stop questioning our harmful behavior. Now let's take a step back. We've talked about justifying harm, but there's an opposite process, building integrity. Integrity isn't just about doing the right thing, it's about making decisions that align with our values even when it's hard. Let's consider the example we used earlier, the decision to overlook worker safety for cost-saving measures. The factory owner may know that workers are being subjected to unsafe conditions, but they justify it by telling themselves, "It's just the way things are in the industry," or "the workers agreed to this." This is a classic case of moral disengagement. Integrity building, however, means abstaining from these justifications. Each time you choose to prioritize the well-being of others, whether it's enforcing safety regulations or making an ethical decision in a tough situation, you're strengthening your ability to make better decisions in the future. Your decision will likely grow its own legs to stand on, meaning that you will subconsciously come up with reasons for making the decision and entertain ideas that align with it. So how do we break this cycle of harm and justification? It starts with awareness. Recognizing when you're justifying harmful behavior is the first step. From there, it's about making a conscious effort to do the right thing, even when it's uncomfortable. It's not easy, but the more we practice, the more our integrity becomes a natural part of who we are. Remember, we're all human. We make mistakes, and sometimes we harm others. But through self-awareness and a commitment to integrity, we can break the harmful cycles we fall into. By choosing empathy, kindness, and honesty, we not only reduce harm, but build a stronger, more resilient sense of self. Thanks for watching. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. This is the first of hopefully many videos together. If there are any particular topics you would like me to dive into, leave a comment and let me know. Let's continue to learn together and grow in our ability to make better, more ethical decisions. See you next time.